if I learned anything from this documentary, it's that I would not do a package holiday. Not that I would, not my kind of thing. But, for some people, they're a really great idea. Unfortunately for the people in this documentary, not so much. So there are certain things in this that I actually kind of want to discuss in detail and, display my shock at what happened to some of these families. But at the same time, I don't want to spoil too much, because the shock factor is, it's what is effective here. But basically, when all-inclusive holidays go horribly wrong, mouthful of a title, looks at certain families or couples who went on package holidays, so where they have their flight and their holiday, mainly to quite typically, hot countries with a pool and, your kind of stereotypical family vacation. And it looks at certain things that went horribly wrong. And I really like the setup of this, because first of all, we have the victims. Can I use that word? Obviously in a studio with a professional setup, doing interviews, snippets of interviews, explaining their experience. And I like that aspect of it. And then it'll cut to video footage that they've taken, their own phone videos and things they've taken when on holiday, of the things that went horribly wrong. And some of them are kind of mediocre. Like there was one where there was construction work going on all day next to the hotel, which, would drive me insane. I'm very noise sensitive. It would completely ruin everything for me as well. But obviously it's not the end of the world. You can go away from the holiday and explore other parts of the city or whatever. And then there are some where, somebody ended up in intensive care. And I won't say why. But they ended up in intensive care because of such a simple thing that I feel probably affects a lot of people, maybe to varying degrees. So definitely look out for that. It's actually really educational, and not just something that would affect you if you went on a package holiday, if you went to certain countries. It may affect you anyway. And there are a few other things in here that weren't necessarily, restricted to package holidays. There was something involving sun cream. Again, really eye-opening and worth watching in case the same thing could happen to you. Some of these, like the construction, it's out of everybody's control. And even if you are aware that construction might be happening, nothing you can do. But with the sun cream and the intensive care one, these are things that are educational and that you could avoid if you had the knowledge beforehand. But none of these situations are pleasant. I really like how it's edited together. I think it's a very well constructed documentary. It's quite long. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. And that itself is not very long, but it's just, I expected it would have been about an hour in length, or maybe a multi-episode TV series. That would have been quite engaging as well if they did it themed, when holidays go wrong with poor hotels or with, food issues, that kind of thing. It would have been good as an extended series, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was engaging. I thought it was very well edited and put together. The people they interviewed and the people who told their stories were, likable and easy to get on with. By which I mean, if somebody who was just clearly annoying was telling their story, you'd have no sympathy for them. But I think they did it very well. And it's really enjoyable. It's absolutely worth checking out. It is a Channel 5 show. I think I forgot to mention that. It's currently on My 5. And if you like this kind of thing that relies on shock factor, if you find happiness in other people's misery, let's face it, we all do at certain times. Or if you had your own holiday stories from hell, first of all, I'd love to hear them. Second of all, you might find some comfort in this, knowing you're not the only person. Definitely worth checking out if it sounds like your kind of thing.